everyone. Today I'm gonna try to attempt to alter everything in my wardrobe. Behind me is everything that I picked out. I've said for years now, if I just made it shorter, made it a little bit tighter, you know, it would work. So today is the day I'm gonna try to tackle all of them. I mean, try is the key word here. I don't know how I'm going to like categorize this. I don't know if it should be by the alteration or by the clothing item, but I am going to let Natalie in the future with this voiceover figure it out. So let's get started. First project is this recently thrifted skirt that just falls a little bit too loose on my body, and I want it more at my waist than my hip. So what I'm gonna do, this is the back, I'm going to seam rip this, and then I'm gonna take out the elastic. The actual elastic is still in really good shape, so I don't think I'm going to change it, plus it makes it easier for me. I'm going to try this on and see exactly how much I need this to be taken in. When I tried it on, I just tightened the elastic with a safety pin and just kept trying different placements till I found the one that I wanted. Then I went to the sewing machine and marked it with a pen. You want that stitch to be secure, so go back and forth on that marked line. I also did some zigzag stitches on the excess elastic. Once that's done, cut off the excess, place it back into the skirt, and just do a straight stitch to secure it again, and that's it. This was a simple alteration. Definitely give your clothes with an elastic a good look and see if this alteration could give them a better fit too. I've had this red dress for a while, and two things always bother me: the straps and how loose the elastic is on the shoulders. So here I'll be taking the straps out by just seam ripping them off. So I'm gonna definitely keep these straps because they're good. I'm sure I could use it for something else. Now it's time to seam rip and do the same method as the previous skirt. So I've come across this little problem where how this was sewn is that there is a stitch right here which doesn't allow me to pull the actual elastic all the way through. I'm going to tighten this a little bit, and then I'm going to have to make an opening on the front side as well. And then we should be okay. This quick alteration most definitely elevated this dress. I can't wait to pair it with a belt and some cowboy boots. So this is just a method that my mom taught me. My mom's method for everything is by dedos, fingers. This is the center right here. So I'm gonna see how many dedos is it. It's approximately 2 fingers. So after flipping them inside out, you can see right here these darts. We're basically going to be taking it in more. Now you can be really professional about this. Seam rip all of this so you're not, you know, sewing into here, but we don't got time for that. We're just gonna go shoom, make it easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We're going to fold this part right here. Okay, so we already know right here, that's the lowest it can go. What I wanna do is just get my dedo, bam, right here, and place a pin. And then basically all I'm gonna do is from here, just make a line. That's, now you can go ahead and draw a line for yourself, or you could just eyeball it, and then just do the same on the other side. Essentially, how many fingers you have at that center part, divide it, and that'll be how much you'll be taking in on each side. So if your pants are 4 fingers too big, then you'll be taking 2 fingers on each dart. So one little thing you do want to be cautious about is you see how these aren't like lined correctly. I'm just gonna go ahead and seam rip everything again. Well, bam, there she goes, there she goes. Now what you can do with the extra fabric that's left over, you could either cut it off and then serge it, or fake serge it with a little zigzag stitch, or you could just leave it. I'm just gonna leave it because I can't be bothered, so yeah. Here's the before and after. I thought I would have to hem the bottom as well, but now that it fits right on my waist, the length is perfect. I have such a love-hate for these pants because the style is absolutely amazing, but it just fits so weird on my body. There's always like this large gap on my waist, so I'll be taking this one in as well. The altering method that my mom showed me was normally done on jeans, and so I thought transferring it into pants would be the same thing. But as this project showed me, sometimes it doesn't work that well and you can get some serious pucking or whatever this is. But because I was trying to finish everything before I left for America, I just left it as is. I mean, the front looks really nice, so I guess that's all that matters to me. And I didn't even have time to fill in the missing pearls, but I'll do that when I get back. All that was needed here was just another waist taken. For reference though, these are 4 fingers too big, so that meant I had to take in 2 fingers worth on each start. So I actually ended up making this one a little bit too tight on me. I should have done like 3.5 fingers, but oh well. And yeah, I did get some puckering stuff, but because it's a pattern print, it doesn't really bother me because you can't really see it. Alright y'all, despite me wearing these all the time, the truth is I always have to wear them with a safety pin. I didn't get a full before pants clip, but here's how it looks like when I pin them up. Here's the after, and I'm glad I can stop putting a safety pin when I wear them. I did notice that there's some puckering at the ends, but it isn't really anything that bothers me. I also thought I was gonna have to hem these, but the length is perfect now that it finally sits on my waist. The only thing I wish I could do is make the front crotch seem shorter because it sits so low on me, but that's way too complicated, so I'm fine with this end result. I hope if you're watching this video, it gives you the motivation to finally work on those things that you've been putting off for the longest goddamn time. Finally, I'm going to shorten this dress. So first I just put a dress that I like the length of on top of it. So from there I'm gonna mark it and then I'm gonna add in a good inch of seam allowance. So what I'm gonna do now is just fold this twice, iron it, sew it with the straight stitch, bam, be done. Same thing with this, fold it once, fold it again, and finish it off with the straight stitch, and that'll be it. Yay! And just as I'm doing this, I'm going to make sure that I have the back length a little bit longer than the front, but this line here is the longest that it's going to be, so at least I know I'm not going to run out of fabric like last time. So when I'm rolling this up, I'm just going to make it a little bit higher than the back part. I'm absolutely loving this dress even more now, and with the extra fabric that I have, I think I'm probably gonna make like a separate video that I just like, I don't know, use all this scrap fabric to like make some cool new stuff. So I guess stay tuned for that. I've had this skirt for over a decade, yep. And the only thing that's been holding this up are these 2 stitches that I did on both sides of the skirt. After all these years, I'm finally sewing the hem of this dang skirt. I tried to do a straight stitch just on this folded part, and also the thing, I was going to cut it and then hem it, but given that the fabric it's gonna fray a lot and it's gonna just be a lot of trouble, I just thought I'll just keep this folded hem that I already did like a decade ago. So then I tried to do a straight stitch, but then because this is so thick, you can clearly tell that there was a straight stitch. So what I did was just a blind stitch, not the little triangle part, but the straight part. I just did it on the thinner part of the skirt, and then the actual little triangle that goes like, it goes like deek, deek, deek. I did it on this part. Sorry, I'm not the best at explaining. This way it doesn't hit that much of the chunky part and you can see it. You can definitely still see that this is hemmed right here, but I think it's a lot better than the straight stitch that I had beforehand. So I'm happy with it. We're going down memory lane with another skirt that has been held up with a safety pin and really quick hand stitching for the past 5 years. But today, she's finally getting her work done. So for this skirt, it has like these elastics here. I tried to put the darts here and here, but it just looked weird. So instead, I'm just taking some from the middle. Ooh. And then just do a zigzag stitch to overlock this. Time to seam rip these 5-year-old wonky ass seams. Y'all ready to see how long the skirt actually is? Yes, it's been tucked underneath this whole time. Now I just hem the skirt, and if I didn't say this already, make sure to hem the lining and the skirt separately. That was the killer in my last Thrifted video, so do not be like me, be better. And there she is with a new lease on life. I'm so excited to be finally comfortable in the skirt and not feel like super stuffy. I'll definitely be wearing this out way more now. For these polka dot pants, I need to take them in at the waist just a little bit and definitely shorten them. Hemming these is the same as the dress. Place pants that are ready at your desired length, trace it, and then add in an inch or 2 for seam allowance. When I wear this, I normally shorten the dress by folding part of it and hiding the folded part with a belt. So today, I'm finally gonna shorten it, and I'm also gonna tighten up the dress a bit as well. Using the back darts, I measured and marked 1/2 inch all the way around, sewed it down, and then of course ironed it so it could look nice and neat. I am so stoked to have another mini dress in my wardrobe. It totally gives me like a 90s vibe with that like high square neckline and boxy shoulders. I could have taken in this skirt, but I left it as is. Instead, I focused on shortening it. I could have done like a regular hem, but I thought it would be more fun to make it a fringe one like how it originally was. After placing a skirt with the length I liked, I outlined that with chalk and then went to the sewing machine. Little tip that my sister told me, if your thread doesn't fit on your machine, get a bowl, get a straw or anything, and so I can go dee 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 like this. Following that chalk line, I did 2 top stitches right on top of each other. This way the denim is secured and won't fray once you're distressing it. I didn't have dark blue thread so it could like blend in with the skirt, so instead I used a thread that was as close as to the original stitching as I could get it. Whatever, we working through it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the excess. I love cutting things with this rotary cutter. That's for sure. This is the first time I'm distressing something, but yeah, you're just gonna pull on these little threads. Whatever thread gets you to move it, that's the one you wanna be pulling on. I think I'm definitely gonna have to cut this even shorter. So put on an episode of your favorite show and just keep pulling on the tabs. Once you're done, just cut off any excess that you don't want and it'll look something like this. I bought these when I was working at the horrendous part-time job because I needed shorts that were a longer length, but I haven't worn them since leaving. And I want these to become like my favorite jean shorts. So that means I need to take them in and create a new hemline. So to take this in, I'm looking at the pocket. I'm gonna find the middle of it. Bam, fold it. I have like two and a half, and then we're gonna bring it in just a little bit inside the pocket. When marking your dart, it doesn't have to go all the way to the pocket. It can be at the end of the waistband. Bam. And now I'm just gonna sew this. That's it. Make sure you don't get the pocket when you're sewing this, so grab it out. Instead of just outlining my favorite pair of shorts on the new one, I took the inseam of my favorite shorts and marked it down. The perfect inseam length I found for me is at 3 inches. Then I measured the length of the shorts. This one is 13.5 inches and marked it on the sides. This is because with shorts, the inseam is really important for a good fit, and not all shorts have the same inseam. After you connect it with the ruler, also add in a 1/2 inch for seam allowance. Oh, this side is a little tricky because you have to like roll it, right? I don't know. Let's go for this. I love cutting stuff. Woo! That felt good. Honestly, I don't know if this was the right technique to use, but it worked for me. Because these were not made with the best quality material, distressing it was so much faster. I'm so happy that I now have some wearable cute jean shorts. The fringe adds a really cute detail and makes them way more unique. I did, however, debate if I should make them shorter, but I realized that this length is actually perfect. I feel really comfortable and secure when I wear these. One of my most cherished jeans, these really cool thrifted Japanese jeans I found in the men's section of Vinprime. I definitely need to take in the waist and properly hem the length because it has my signature wonky hand stitching. Okay, so for these jeans, it's a little bit different. I can't do the inside one because look at all this beautiful stuff and I don't want to ruin it. So instead what I'm going to do is seam rip everything right here, and then instead I'm gonna add in that dart here to here, or here to like here. So that is what I did on this side. It's really wonky because this is really thick jean material. I seam ripped the sides and the belt loops. Oh, and if you do this method, just be careful not to lose your belt loops. I lost one of mine. Then I placed a dart and sewed it down. And I just kept repeating this process until I got a dart that really fit right on my body. This was really tricky and just time consuming. God, working with jeans is so difficult. One, because the material is so thick, especially like these jeans. So what I ended up doing accidentally, I guess, is like I just cut this, and I think what I was supposed to do instead was just seam rip everything so that it would be, you know, open like this, but instead I just cut it. So I'm just trying to fix that. I'm going to redo the sides because it's wonky. But once I got the dart down, I cut off the excess fabric and continued to the hardest part, how to put the waistband back. But it ended up being that the outer waist wasn't as hard. All I had to do was just extend that side seam and then I cut off the excess. But in hindsight, I shouldn't have cut the excess fabric because then I could have measured like how much I needed to take in at the inner waistband, but oh well. With the inner waistband, I had to seam rip a whole lot more to give myself some space and to be able to like flip the waistband on its wrong side. But with a lot of trial and error, I managed to get it down. Seriously, y'all, by some miracle, all of that got fixed. And then I just did a top stitch to put the waistband back together and to secure the side seams back onto the jeans. I did it! I finally did it! This took forever. But oh my God! Ah! She's looking a little wonky, but like, girl, for a first time, this looks great. This is great. Hey. Oh, and for the hem, I just seam ripped my wonky stitching and just did a double top stitch on the edge of the jeans so it won't fray. But oh my God, y'all, I am so happy with these jeans. The only thing is that these are guide jeans, so with the zipper that doesn't really go like too far down, so it's a struggle to get these over my hips. I also did these alterations before my America trip, so I can only imagine how much harder it's gonna be, but oh well, that's a little bump in the road I can work with. For these high-waisted pants, all I needed to do was simply shorten it. I was going to use my sewing machine, but I saw that the bottom was done with the blind hem stitch, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't me who did it because it looks really nicely done. So I asked my sister if I should use a sewing machine, and she said that because the original hem was hand stitched, then I should probably do the same. But like with preparing everything for my trip to America, there were some things I didn't get to finish, like doing that blind hem stitch on these pants. So I only have one of them done, but at least you can see the before and after. This also wasn't my best blind hem stitching, but I'll take it for right now. Since nothing is cut, I can always go back at it when I have more time. Alright, so that is it for this video, homies. I'll be just looking outside the window, but hello from us here in America. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll be, look. Yay! Bye!